welcome to Bora Bora. I'm here, I'm going to do a major hike to the top of the third highest peak on Bora Bora, which is Mount Ohue. In fact, you can see it on it's the bump on the far left side of the screen on that mountain block. The middle summit is Mount Pahia, and the tallest summit, which is further there on the right, is Mount Ohue. So I'm going to be hiking to the summit of Mount Ohue. It's extremely challenging. It's not for most people. It's not for regular hikers. But this will be the second time I'm doing it. First time I did it with a guide 6 years ago. And now I'm going to do a solo hike to the top. I'm here on Bora Bora beginning the Mount Ohue hike, which also leads to Mount Pahia. And as you can see, I'm just walking down a residential street here in the neighborhood because the trail begins at the end of this road. The top peaks up there, that is Mount Ohue on the left and Mount Pahia on the right. The two bumps at the top of the screen. At the end of the road, the trail cuts to the left. I should say the trail begins here as it turns left, and it's a bit overgrown at the start. View looking back after gaining about 200 feet in elevation. And now, just up ahead, looks like we're going to be entering the jungle. Turning to the right. Trail starts off easy, but make no mistake, this is a very hard hike. Very challenging. Here in the jungle, the trail is kind of just blitzing straight up the mountain. No switchbacks. Right here there's some roots to help stabilize on. This rock wall, kind of a first landmark, is at about 400 feet in elevation, with the trail going around it to the right. Just above the rock wall is this very old tree. Well, I've just passed 500 feet in elevation, which means I am a quarter of the way to the summit. This part of the hike is steep, but not bad at all. If it was raining or more muddy, it would be a bigger problem. It's just steep. Passing through an area of some ferns here. A little bit of a different look. Just climbed up that steep section. Trail continues here, climbs up through this. So a little trail update. I've been hiking a little over 1 hour and have gained around 700 feet in elevation. So at this rate, I should be on the summit. It should take me about 3 total hours of hiking to get up there. But the hike will get harder starting now. In fact, I see my first rope climb section just ahead. And first rope section is right here. See, it's a steep climb on some slippery rock. I've heard these ropes were placed by guides, but certainly don't know how reliable or new or in working condition they are. So, gotta be careful. So that last rope climb section, I deemed it too risky because the rock was slippery and I ran out of footholds. That's why I climbed back down it. And I just kind of searched around the hillside, went over to the left, that way if I was coming up trail, and found a bypass I was able to use that was a lot safer. Next steep section to climb. Here at 950 feet in elevation, I actually have my first view looking out of the jungle. The main town down below, the lagoon, and a Mount Ohue there. Look how steep that is, that section I had to climb up. No, the trail continues. More steep uphill. And again, just climb something super steep. Trail continues up this. Two and a half hours into the hike. I'm still on the steep initial jungle ascent, climbing straight up. and I'm at 1,250 feet in elevation. I'm being repetitive, but look how steep that section is I just climbed. Looking up the trail once again. I'm very close to finishing the steep jungle portion. A little bit of a view looking out here as I do another short rope climb. And once again, a great view looking out, so much visible through the trees here. Well, I've completed the vertical jungle climb. At the end there was a couple really sketchy sections with ropes. I passed one hiker who stayed behind, didn't feel comfortable climbing any farther. The rest of her group, 4 other hikers, continued on, but I applaud her for making a wise and safe decision, stopping where she felt was all she could safely handle. This next section just kind of follows along a high rock wall for a little bit, doing some ups and downs. A little bit of a break here. A little bit of a downhill section right here as I'm about to turn into the sun. Bright sunshine for the first time since walking on the road. The ground is considerably drier on this side, less slippery. This section wrapping around the cliffs has gone on for quite some time. In and out of the sun. Easier and harder sections. I've rounded the mountain and begun the steep, what I call gully climb, that's roped. Having new views here. So I've begun the gully rock climb here. And then here's the ropes. They continue up, tied together in a series of rope for quite some distance. The rope climb continues. Just climb that part. Now here's the rope continuing through the brush here. Just climb that last bit without rope. And the gully section is going to end right up there. Great view looking back here as I'm drawing closer to the end of the gully climb. So I finished the gully climb. I'm not that far from the summit now. And just wanted to mention a few things. First of all, the other hikers passed me going back down. One of them had a severe injury on his hand. Looked like he slipped and cut it pretty bad. And I didn't think of it until later, but I do have a first aid kit in my backpack that I carry with me on these hikes. So I wish I had thought of it to give him some assistance. The other 3 hikers seem fine. And then I also want to mention here, you can see my hiking pole. I brought this mainly to ward off any nasty dogs on the road portion of the hike. But it really helps stabilize me going up some of these wet, slippery areas, steep areas. So I'm glad I have that hiking pole with me. But yeah, almost to the summit, so get ready for some views. Check out the interesting growth on this pine tree here. Branches are all covered. A lot of pine cones up on the tree too. Yet another rope section right here, almost to the main ridge. So just came up that steep section with rope, and the rope disappears, got to climb that. And right there is the summit of Mount Ohue, literally just minutes away. That's Mount Ohue, and I'm just getting my very first glimpse of Mount Pahia right there in the middle, as the trail winds up to the summit of Mount Ohue. So let me show you the actual summit of Mount Ohue. It's right here. This is the summit bump. You can see my backpack down there. What's neat are there's some nice flowers here at the summit. So really happy I made it up here safely to the summit of Mount Ohue. You can see Mount Ohue behind me and Bora Bora's beautiful blue lagoon. This is a very special spot. It's not for most people. This is not for regular hikers. Pretty much a mix of hiking, advanced hiking and climbing, I would say. But I did hike this one time before, about 6 years ago, with a guide, so I did know the route and was comfortable doing it. But this very well could be my last time up here. So, but I'm just really appreciating this moment. Bora Bora is one of the most incredible places on earth, and it's neat to be able to do a little bit of hiking here along with all the water activities. Okay, here is a full summit panoramic. That is Mount Pahia right there, the second highest peak on Bora Bora. That is the highest peak. I can actually see a flag waving at the top there. Somebody's put. And looking over here, you can see the lagoon, some overwater bungalows out there on the Motu. It circles around next to the reef. Looking this way, way out in the distance there is the island of Tupai, which has an incredible heart shape to it. It's beyond the end of the reef and the Motu, out in the water. Very pretty island. We're going to be visiting that on Sunday. So let me continue around Bora Bora. Right there you can see the pass where the lagoon opens out into the ocean, where boats, sharks, and everything else come through into Bora Bora's lagoon. And continuing around this way, and back to where we started, Mount Pahia. So that's about it from the summit of Mount Ohue. I'm going to head down, put the camera away so I can focus on safely getting down some of these very difficult spots. So hope you enjoyed the hike up here, and I'll see you at the bottom. Hey everyone, so it's the next day. Finished my hike, got down safely, and the rest of the time here in Bora Bora we're going to be out on the water enjoying the lagoon. So I'm going to show you some of the sights out here. Hope you enjoyed the hike yesterday, but it was extremely challenging and it's not for most people. The views at the top were sure incredible though. So right here you can see the 3 highest peaks on Bora Bora. The tall one in the middle, of course, is Mount Ohue. The next bump to the right is Mount Pahia. And then the final bump there to the right, a little bit lower, is Mount Ohue, which is where this is the highest summit you can really hike to relatively safely.